everybody! Whoa, hey everyone! I had to make sure this was working. Hi everyone, it's Professor Matthew Reinhart here, and we're here for another pop-up masterclass. I love Transformers. I did a Transformer book back in 2013, I think. Is we pull the tab, and some of the pieces stay car, and then some of them flip over and show other things or reveal things that are hidden. Right? So that's how that all works. The very first book that I used, a transforming sort of pop, was Cinderella. And so you can see this rat, and he's like, oh, I'm a rat. And then he transforms up into the coachman. We're seeing it before it pops up. So that in itself, I think, is a really interesting thing. See, sometimes I can look at a line and I can tell. That's pretty good. That's pretty close. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold this square in half. And this square is, let's see. Square is about 4.5 by 4.5, something like that. So this is going to be the activator sort of page. And we're just going to tape it on this main base page here. And let's see. What we need to do is put some double stick on the opposite side. And this is two-sided tape, so it's sticky on both sides. All right, so I'm going to stick it on this side. You could also use glue if you want to glue it down to our base page. I'm just going to stick it right here in the middle of our main big yellow base page. All right, just like that. And I'm also going to use a pencil and my ruler, and I'm just going to make a pencil line down the center of that fold that I just made on this. Oops, it's a little off. Well, what you can also do is you can do this. There, that works. Just so I know where that center line is, and so you can see it. Let's get on closer. Up close and personal, right? All right, so here we are, and we have our, this is what we're going to start from. Okay, now we need to let's make a little pull tab that goes on here. So I'm just going to take some more of my scrap paper, and I'm going to make a pull tab. And what I'm going to do is I want to make a thick pull tab, not this thick. But what I want to do is I actually want to fold over onto itself so that it's double strong. Okay, so that's a little, let's cut it right here. So we have this long rectangle, right? And we're going to fold over onto itself. And again, let's double stick it to itself using double stick tape. Woo! See, I'm just taping it all on there. See how I have that? And I'm just going to fold it onto itself. Now, this piece of cardstock is a little stronger than normal. Alrighty? Let's go ahead. Next, we are going to tape using one-sided tape or masking tape if you'd like. I don't know. Some people like to use masking tape to make their pop-ups. I do like masking tape because it has fibers in it and it won't. It is a little bit stronger. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use one-sided tape, and I just got Scotch tape right here. And oops, I made it too long. Don't you hate that? And I'm going to make sure that this edge, let's pull in a little closer. We want to see what you're doing. See this edge right here? We're going to tape it down using one-sided tape and make sure it's parallel to this fold right here. There we go. And then watch, I'm going to use my finger, well, what's left of my fingernail, and I'm going to kind of press the tape into that crease. All right, now one of the things we want to do before we really get started is we need to make sure that our pull tab is anchored down to the page, right? Right now it's flopping all around. We want it to be pressed down. And what I want to do is I'm going to make two slots. I'm just going to make some marks on the page. We want to make sure, and I'm going to use like a piece of scrap paper to measure this. And you say, why are you using a scrap paper to measure things? Well, the reason why is because all we have to do is make a mark with a pencil And so there's our measuring tool, right? So we want to make sure that this distance from here to here, right? Where it's attached, where this tab is attached, we need to make sure that our slots that this is going to go through on the base page is more than that distance. So let's kind of double it. I think that's a good idea. So we're going to mark it right there. So this is where we're going to make some, let's use our ruler. We're going to make some slots. And the slots, okay, here's the difference between a slit and a slot. A slit is just one cut. So that, if I was going to cut that, that would be a slit. A slot has area. So we need a little, and it's a little bigger. See, it's a little wider than just a slit. We need to make sure that this slot that we're making, let's see if you can see that. Can you see that? So we need to make sure that it's tall enough to fit our tab through. And you know what? We're going to do a second one right next to it. We're going to make sure, as best as we can, let's see, let's make sure that that slot is parallel to this edge. I'm a little off, so let's just see if I can fix that a little. And we'll fix it when we, let's see, I'm looking at my grid. There's one. And there's two. It doesn't have to be perfect. You know, not everything has to be super perfect. I make mistakes all the time. And you know, you can shore up your mistakes later on. So don't worry if it's not all right. So we got these two slots. And now I'm going to just use my X-Acto knife. And I'm going to just cut it out. It's basically just a really long, thin rectangle. Now, when you're using an X-Acto knife, I want you to make sure you're being very, very careful. And also, never have your finger in the way or path that you're cutting. Never. So hold your hand over here, right? Cut going that way. You need your hands to hold down the paper, right? But you should never cut toward your hand using an X-Acto knife. I've done it before, and guess what? It really hurts. So don't do that. Be very careful. Respect the tools that you're working with. You know, all right, so now we need to get this PullTab into those slots. And I think the best way to do it would be to, rather than bend this to try to make it fit inside, let's cut it here with our X-Acto knife, just very carefully, right there. All right, now you can slip this under, just like that. And now let's use a piece of tape. And we'll just repair where we cut, right? Perfect. Perfect. Look at that. Zing. And if you really, really want to be a perfectionist, which, yes, I have to do this. There we go. It's taped on the back. So now, there we go. We have our little PullTab, and we can start building our transformer pop. Let's pull back a little, give a little room. All right, so let's get started. Now, like I said, we're going to have some of our pop-up exposed. And I think what we need to do to get started, we're going to use a VFold Riser. So let's take some scrap paper, and I'm going to use different colors. This is the uncut version of the paper, so, or corner of obviously I cut that side, but I didn't cut this side. So let's cut a corner out like this. Okay, we're going to make a V-fold using that corner, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it closed again. And I'm going to make a cut that's parallel to that edge. And I'm just eyeing it. Alrighty, so we've got, this is going to be part of our VFold Riser. This is a double VFold Riser. We only want one side of the VFold Riser, so snip. All right, there we go. So that's going to be, oh, it's tall. That's tall. Let's see. It's going to go all the way out there. Let's make it a little shorter. Up. There we go. Up. But I want this to go like that. Okay. So this is going to be used to make our VFold Riser. Let's attach it. All right, using one-sided tape, we're going to tape this down lined up on the center of our main PullTab page. I'm just going to make sure it's taped all the way along this edge. And I'm going to tape it on this side. Pressing it in there. There we go. So now, when we open and close it, there is... Now it's okay to have it showing, because remember, making a transformer pop, we want to see what the pop-up looks like when it's closed. We want some of that to show. So that's okay. It's okay. It's okay. All right, so we have our VFold Riser there. We need to make another piece that is a layer. So we're going to make a rectangle that is that long. All right, and I'm going to use another color. This is going to be a very colorful transformer pop, because I want you to be able to see all these different pieces. You don't have to make it in different colors. I'm just going to do that, okay? So we need to make a rectangle. And we're going to make sure that it's as tall as this distance from here to here. So let's lay it on top. Let's get this pencil is not sharpened. Sharpen it. There we go. Better. Should always have sharpened pencils. All right, there we go. So we're going to make that rectangle that tall. There we go. Get this sharp thing out of here. All right. Let's tape this down, and we're going to put it, I think we're going to put it right about there. And we're going to tape this down. We're going to make sure that when it's taped down, it's parallel to this edge here. That's how a layer works. So this is going to be a layer. And we need this layer in order to make our VFold Riser. All right, now we need to put the top on this VFold Riser. See, this is going to move. These are going to move together. But we need to have the platform top up here. So let's take another piece. I'm going to use this. No. Blue. Ooh, I like it. We're going to use this blue. We're going to cut off a corner. I'm going to kind of cut a corner kind of like this. It's going to be sort of a rectangle. This sort of looks like, so we have the corner. See how that corner is? We have that piece. And then this is going to be, we're going to make this is going to go on the top of here. Just like that. So that's what that piece, it kind of, no, it doesn't look like that. It kind of looks like a price tag. You ever seen like a price tag that used to be on things? Well, that's real old-timey. But I'm old, so what do you expect? So we're going to tape this in place just like this, and here's how we're going to do it. Let's use some one-sided tape. I'm going to tape it onto this new blue piece, and it's sticky side down. And see, watch how I do this. I'm going to tape it onto the back VFold Riser, just like that. And I'm going to press it onto it so it's taped well. And it's just going to fold over onto itself. And let's use some more one-sided tape. And I'm just doing it sticky side up so that when I fold this over, it tapes right onto itself. Okay? So now it's attached, and our VFold Riser, watch. It goes from here to there. Look at that. So we're gonna think about that as being the front of our car that we're making. So for right now, I'm just gonna cut it. Maybe it's yeah, there we go. So we're gonna think about that as being the front of our car, and see it goes from there to there. Pretty cool. All right, next, let's think, well, we need to make the hood of the car, right? And we want to make it so that when it rises up, if this is the chest of the robot, the head's going to have to be right around there, right? So let's take another piece of cardstock and let's fit it. Now, what we're going to do is this. We're going to experiment a little. We're going to see what works. I want to put this piece, I think it would be good going back here, because if we were able to, if it was on there, see how it would flip away and reveal something? Look at that. So I think that's what we'll do. And I'm just going to make a shape. Maybe I'll just stick, for right now, I'm just going to stick a piece. Let's see. I'm just going to stick a piece that's kind of like a rectangle. Sometimes when you're making these, you have to experiment a little. So we're going to stick a rectangle right here. And I'm going to use some double stick and I'm going to tape it right on the back of this piece that's exposed. See how I did that? And then I'm just going to stick this rectangle right here. And we're going to see what that looks like when it opens and closes. Huh? Ah, nice. So we're starting to see that we can make something that exposes itself in a nice way. It looks one way this way, one way that way. I like that. You know what we should do though? We should add another rectangle onto this piece, a little one. So maybe we can get some of the wheels. So maybe, I don't know, right about there or right there. Ooh, that might be good. Again, when we're doing this, we're experimenting. We're playing around with what we think might work. So yours might, your results might vary. So I'm just putting a piece like this in. You're gonna have to play around. The pop-up masterclass is about teaching you a concept rather than teaching you exactly how to build the exact same thing. So there we go, look at that. So we could, I'm just gonna put a little sketch on here. We could put a head here. We could also put arms hanging down here. It could go down there. So that's pretty cool. So we're starting to reveal stuff. Let's do that. Let's add a little bit. If we want to add an arm, let's see, how far can we do that? You have to start thinking where the shapes might, what you might be able to do with the shape. So there we're starting to see, oh, that can be hidden. Look at that. It's pretty cool. That could be another one. So now, so we've got, let's start here drawing. I need a nice pen, or maybe I'll just use a pencil. Yeah, that's best. Let's get on close. Now I'm gonna just rough in some of these things. So here is our car, right? So let's say our car is, I'm gonna cut some of this off here and there. Maybe there's a wheel here, right? Let's do the hood. All right, so now we have just a basic, just rough sketch of the layout of what the way things will be. Now we can start filling in things. Well, we need to make a better arm because that arm doesn't look so good, right? So let's take it off. We know that we can fit the arm within that shape. So let's just take another piece. Let's redo that arm. I'm just going to take a piece of yellow here, and I'm just going to add to it, and it needs to fit underneath. I'm just going to, let's see, I'm just going to put it and make a rectangle about right there. Okay, and I'm going to stick it right on top, and we're going to see if it fits within. This is double stick tape I'm using. Let's see if it fits when we close it. Does it? Yeah. Look at that. All right. Maybe, let's see here. Maybe that could be the other arm on the other side. See, I'm just, like I said, I'm experimenting and I'm seeing what, I'm playing around with what we could do. You know, I'm just seeing, well, maybe this will work, maybe this will work. Sometimes things work, sometimes they don't. You've got to experiment and try it out. All right, I think what we're going to do is let's add a V-fold right here. And that V-fold will help us move some legs around. So I'm just going to cut the corner off a piece of paper, just like that. It's going to be a little V-fold. I might have made this too big. Fold it in half. Right? Well, let's make it a little smaller. And instead of the V-fold going this way, let's have it going like this. All right? And then we're going to use some one-sided tape there. Use some one-sided tape right there. And it looks like I've got a little area over the edge here. I'm just going to use my X-Acto knife and just cut it off. All right, so there's our V-fold attached. Now watch what happens. It folds up out of the way. And it moves. If we put something on this layer here, it'll move it to go underneath here. So let's see if that works. Let's get a piece of cardstock. This is very colorful, right? Let's see here. These are going to be some legs. Let's cut a rectangle. Let's see what we can do with this. Let's have the legs kind of go like right there. So let's use some double-sided tape. We're going to stick it just on, I want you to see that, just on that upper triangle. And if you have, well, let me get my favorite scissors. Don't let any of that double stick go over the edges because it'll make your pop-up stick. And then we're going to tape that in place. So now we have, there's legs, arms, head, part of the chest or shoulders, and there's maybe another arm. I don't know yet. I don't know. We're going to check it out. Let's see what that looks like when it closes. Oh, look what's happening. It's hitting this piece. What do we do about that? Well, I have an idea. Let's use some one-sided tape. Let's glue down that extra edge there. And you know what? It needs some breathing room. So let's just make a little, let's cut a little triangle off right there. Just like that. Let's see if that helps and gives our legs room to hide. Ooh, let's see. Now, a lot of times I like to look underneath there. Ooh, look, see, it fits right under there. Ooh, that's nice. Our legs hide. All right, so we just added this V-fold. Look at that. Look at those long legs. They hide completely underneath the wheel. I love that. And you know what I have an idea about? Ooh, this is going to be cool. This is going to freak you out. What if we cut off this wheel here and we put a wheel on that piece? So I'm just going to add a little. Now, I'm making this all up as we go along. This is all just, we're on the fly, we're playing around, and we're seeing how the pieces all work together. And this sometimes, you know, this might take you a while. You might not get it right the first time. You're going to play around, you're going to see. Now, again, you don't have to make it be a robot, a car that turns into a robot. But this is just to get you started. You know, maybe it's a flower that turns into a character. But look at this. Okay, this is so cool. So I added that little wheel there. So now we have the wheel exposed. And now we can do some different stuff with the character. The wheel can be part of its feet. That's so cool. Oh man, that's so cool. I think I'm going to move this a little. When you use, if you're real careful when you pull things up, you can move it so that, oh, that looks okay. That looks okay. No, it should have been back there. There we go. There we go. So that could be part of the feet. Let's maybe add, but his feet are kind of, let's add a little bit more underneath here to make his feet. Because robots usually have those big clunky boots on. Don't they? It seems like it to me. They always are wearing those big bell-bottom shoes. Maybe what I'll do is I'll cut this right here. So let's see, does that fit underneath there? But see, when I made it too big, look what happened. Now you can see it right here. I don't know if we want that. Do we want that? Let's trim it just a bit. There we go. All right, let's look. Whoa! Hello, I'm a robot. And then you can close it. Look at that. So I know you look at this and you think that does not look like a robot. Not yet. But let's see what else we can do to this to make it look more unified. Let's see here. Let's start drawing our robot. Okay, and this is how I'm going to start drawing it. I'm going to start drawing the car. All right, again, I'm warning you. I'm not trying to be perfect with my drawing here. So, all right, so there's our car part. Let's get started with our robot parts. And so we have an arm here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the hood be like sort of a shoulder add-on. And then we'll make the other arm here. We'll make his waist or her waist here. And then the legs. And we have the wheel exposed, which is really cool. Let's see what's look at it. This is it's just a few different things. Look, it's just a VFold Riser built off of this. Right? This is just a layer right there. Let's make sure it's taped down well too. When you use clear tape like this, sometimes it will break after a little while. So you got to be careful. Look at that though. So we've got everything. So let's start drawing. Let's see. We'll make a head. Okay, let's work with. This is going to be sort of a shoulder armor thing, and then let's see here. We got to make a hand. And then there is his sort of boxy robot arm right there. Let's do another one over on this side. This arm does not have the shoulder thing. Okay, so there we go. Look at that. There is our transforming robot. It's really a great drawing, isn't it? But this gives you an idea of how we can use all these different pieces and they can flip away and go from one thing to another. So we've learned that one of these transformer pop-ups is basically just a flattened pop-up that is exposed. The page is taken away and the pieces are revealed when it's closed, and then when it's open, that's the activated part. So unactivated, we see all the parts and how they fit together. All right, class, so I hope you've learned a lot about making transformer pop-ups. Like I said, it doesn't have to be a robot turning into a car. That does not have to be what it is. It could be anything that you want to change. But the whole concept is building from an exposed page like this and using a PullTab and then experimenting with different VFolds, different layers, different things to show what the pop-up looks like closed and exposed. Closed and exposed, we should call it that. And then open and revealed. Look at that. So we made our very own right here in the Pop-Up Masterclass. Again, I am your professor, Matthew Reinhart, and I hope you've enjoyed this. Hey, listen, if you have ideas for future Pop-Up Masterclasses, I'm listening. So be sure to, let me know in the comments down below. And we've got more coming. I really enjoy doing this with you all because it's fun to explain the process of getting through this. And you're all very inspiring when I'm doing this. So thank you so much for watching. Like I said, hit like and subscribe. And there's going to be more coming. So see you later. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.